The morning sun bathed the gardens of Jetavana in golden light, casting gentle shadows beneath the ancient Bodhi tree. Buddha sat serenely, his presence radiating calm as disciples gathered around in quiet anticipation of his wisdom. Ananda stepped forward, his expression troubled, his heart heavy with an unspoken burden. "Master, I have a question weighing on my soul," Ananda said, his voice hesitant yet earnest. Buddha gestured for him to speak freely, his gaze warm and inviting. "I have served you diligently, yet others are praised more often than I," Ananda confessed, his tone tinged with discontent. Buddha closed his eyes briefly, as if drawing wisdom from the cosmos, then looked upon Ananda with compassion. "Ananda, let me share a parable that may soothe your troubled heart," Buddha said, his voice calm yet profound. "Once, in a dense forest, a sapling grew among towering trees whose branches touched the heavens," Buddha began. The sapling gazed upward, envious of the majestic height and grandeur of the elders around it. Buddha continued evenly. It lamented its lack of stature, blind to the richness of its roots, which drank deeply from the fertile earth. Little did it know, its roots extended into unseen depths, nourishing life and sustaining creatures hidden from plain view, Buddha explained. Ananda tilted his head, listening intently as the parable unfolded with serene precision. The towering trees provided shade and beauty, yet their roots were shallow, vulnerable to storms that might uproot them entirely, Buddha said. His boles nourished villages and delighted kings. But one day, Buddha said, the potter's hands grew weary. Ananda, in life, the value of one's service cannot be measured by the acknowledgement or praise it receives, Buddha asserted. Just as the sapling's roots sustain life unseen, your dedication enriches the world in ways beyond human perception, Buddha concluded. Ananda felt a shift within him, as if the weight of comparison had started to dissolve in the light of wisdom. But Master, how does one free oneself from the clutches of such envy and longing for recognition? Ananda asked softly. Buddha leaned forward slightly, his gaze steady as his teachings took on an intimate and personal tone. Begin by recognizing that the ego thrives on comparison, and comparison is but an illusion, a shadow with no substance, Buddha advised. Meditate on this truth each day, and slowly, the grip of envy and longing will loosen, Buddha continued. The true measure of worth lies in the purity of one's intentions and the sincerity of one's actions, Buddha said. When you act with genuine kindness and compassion, free from expectations, your soul will find true peace, Buddha added. But Master, what if the ego's voice persists, whispering doubts and feeding discontent? Ananda inquired further, his curiosity now ignited. Buddha smiled gently, his response measured and deliberate, each word chosen with care. The ego is persistent, like a shadow that follows the body. Yet it is ephemeral and cannot thrive in light, Buddha said. Embrace the light of mindfulness and wisdom, and you will dissolve the ego's shadow into emptiness, Buddha continued. The path is not without its challenges, but in humility, you will find strength to overcome the ego's resistance, Buddha reassured. Celebrate the virtues of others, for to lift them up is to rise above the boundaries of comparison, Buddha concluded. The disciples watched silently, the exchange between Ananda and the Buddha opening their hearts to lessons they too could embrace. Master, your words have filled my heart with clarity, and I am grateful for this profound teaching, Ananda said. Buddha smiled, a serene joy radiating from him as he acknowledged Ananda's gratitude and the transformation unfolding within him. Remember, Ananda, the journey is long, but each step brings us closer to liberation from the chains of ego, Buddha said. As the day unfolded, the gardens of Jetavana buzzed with life. Yet within the circle of disciples, a sacred stillness remained. Ananda's face shone with newfound understanding, the Buddha's teachings echoing in his mind like ripples across a calm pond. The sound of a bell signaled the end of the morning assembly. Yet the wisdom shared lingered in their hearts and minds. Ananda bowed deeply before the Buddha, his spirit lighter, his purpose rekindled by the gentle touch of truth. The sun climbed higher, its rays illuminating the intricate dance of life, the teachings of Buddha woven into the tapestry of existence. The disciples dispersed, carrying with them seeds of wisdom that would take root and grow in the soil of their souls. Buddha remained beneath the Bodhi tree, his eyes closed in meditation, his presence a silent anchor in the ever-changing world. Ananda joined the others, his steps purposeful, his heart filled with clarity, ready to serve with renewed dedication. The teachings of Buddha are timeless, guiding seekers to transcend the illusions of ego and embrace the truth of their inherent worth. Beneath the canopy of Jetavana's gardens, wisdom flows like the wind, unseen yet profoundly felt by all, endless in depth yet simple in essence. The Buddha's words remind us that worth is not measured but felt in sincerity. Within this sacred space, truths were spoken, leaving the disciples forever changed, touched by the Buddha's boundless compassion. Another day, the gentle breeze stirred the leaves in Jetavana, carrying with it the faint aroma of blooming jasmine flowers. Buddha sat beneath his sacred Bodhi tree, his gaze serene, as disciples gathered to absorb his timeless teachings once more. A wealthy merchant arrived, his robes adorned with shimmering gold, his expression conflicted despite the splendor of his outward appearance. "Master, I seek your wisdom, for I possess great wealth but feel no joy within my heart," he confessed. Buddha regarded the merchant with compassion, his eyes reflecting the calm clarity that transcends material concerns. "Tell me, merchant," Buddha began, "do you believe your wealth defines your worth or the happiness you truly seek?" The merchant hesitated, his hands trembling as he spoke. "I believed wealth would bring fulfillment, yet it has burdened me instead." Buddha gestured for the merchant to sit, his gentle smile inviting the troubled soul to unburden himself further. "Let me show you something," Buddha said, reaching down to gather a handful of fine sand from the garden's soil. He held the sand in his open palm, allowing the merchant to observe its delicate texture glistening in the sunlight. "Now, grasp it tightly in your hand," Buddha instructed, his voice calm but firm. The merchant complied, his fingers curling around the sand, squeezing with increasing intensity. Buddha watched silently as grains began slipping through the merchant's grasp. "No matter how tightly you hold, the sand escapes, leaving less in your hand with each passing moment," Buddha explained. The merchant opened his hand, revealing only a few remaining grains amid the creases of his palm. "Such is the nature of comparison and attachment," Buddha continued, releasing the remaining sand as the wind carried it away. "When you measure your worth against others, you clutch at illusions that inevitably slip through your grasp." The merchant listened intently, his heart stirring with awareness as Buddha's words resonated deeply within him. "Master, how can one let go of this endless pursuit of recognition and wealth?" he asked earnestly. "True joy and freedom lie not in possession but in sharing. For the act of giving unlocks the chains of ego," Buddha said. "When wealth is used to uplift others, it transforms into a source of lasting fulfillment," he added gently. "Does wealth serve only the needs of the self? Or does it extend compassion to those suffering from deprivation?" Buddha posed thoughtfully. The merchant bowed his head, reflecting on the selfish pursuit that had consumed him for so long. "Begin by seeking out those in need, for their joy will light the flame of contentment within your soul," Buddha advised. "Give without expectation, for generosity free of motives is the purest path to liberation," Buddha affirmed quietly. "But Master, How can one overcome the fear of losing what one possesses when giving generously to others? The merchant asked hesitantly. Buddha's gaze softened as he responded, his voice resonating like the steady flow of water. Fear arises from the attachment to impermanence. Yet life itself is impermanent. Recognize this truth to dissolve fear's illusion, Buddha said. In letting go, one embraces freedom. Unshackled by the limitations of worldly possessions, Buddha stated firmly. The disciples murmured among themselves, inspired by the exchange between Buddha and the merchant, as his teachings illuminated their hearts. Master, I understand now. I will dedicate myself to serving others and finding joy in selfless acts, the merchant declared. Buddha nodded gently, his presence an anchor amidst the swirling transformation unfolding within the merchant's spirit. Remember, the path to fulfillment is not paved with gold but with compassion and mindfulness, Buddha reminded him. As the day progressed, the merchant departed, his steps lighter, his soul awakened to the power of generosity and kindness. Buddha turned to his disciples, his teachings extending beyond words. As his actions embodied the wisdom he shared. A river nourishes the land not by hoarding its water but by flowing freely, giving life to those who depend on it, Buddha said. Let your life be like the river, bringing joy to others through selfless acts, Buddha concluded thoughtfully. The disciples meditated on this truth, their hearts filled with gratitude for the profound lessons they received in Buddha's presence. Beneath the shade of the Bodhi tree, the teachings of Buddha transformed minds, planting seeds of wisdom in their souls. The golden rays of the setting sun danced upon the gardens of Jetavana, illuminating the vibrant unity of life. Buddha sat in quiet meditation, his role as guide fulfilled for another day, his essence a beacon of eternal truth. As night descended, the disciples retired to their quarters, their hearts enriched by the boundless compassion flowing through Buddha's words. The merchant's journey was just beginning, his steps guided by the wisdom imparted beneath the sacred Bodhi tree. Within the sacred space of Jetavana, the teachings continued to ripple outward, connecting lives and illuminating paths toward truth and harmony. Life is fleeting, yet its depth is revealed through actions born of sincerity and compassion. Another day, the skies above Jetavana were cloudless, their blue depths stretching endlessly, reflecting the stillness of the tranquil gardens. Buddha sat beneath the Bodhi tree, his posture steady, his mind a reservoir of clarity and compassion. A young monk approached, his face marked by worry and the shadow of inner turmoil, carrying a question too heavy to ignore. Master, the monk began, his voice hesitant, I struggle with feelings I cannot tame, doubts that disturb my meditation. Buddha regarded the monk kindly, his gaze steady, reflecting the patience of one who had walked the path to truth. Tell me, what feelings trouble you most? Buddha asked, inviting the monk to speak freely and honestly. Master, the monk began, his voice faltering, I find myself craving recognition for my efforts, despite knowing such desires bind me to suffering. Master, the disciple said softly, your words bring peace to my soul. I will strive to embrace my role humbly. He gestured toward the serene pond nearby, its surface reflecting the sky with pristine clarity. Look at the water, young one, Buddha said. When it is still, it reflects truth. When disturbed, it distorts reality. The monk turned to observe the pond, its tranquil surface undisturbed by ripples, mirroring the trees and sky surrounding it. Our minds are like the pond, Buddha continued. Ego and desire stir the waters, clouding our vision, separating us from truth. The monk sat cross-legged before the Buddha, his attention fixed on every word, each lesson sinking deep into his soul. But Master, how can I calm the waters of my mind when desires arise unbidden, compelling me to seek external validation? The monk asked, Buddha leaned forward slightly, his posture reflecting the gravity of the teachings he was about to impart. To calm the waters, one must cultivate mindfulness, observing desires as they arise without clinging to them or rejecting them, Buddha explained. The forest of Jetavana stood serene, embracing the disciples as they prepared to return to their lives anew. Sudatta rose, his spirit fortified with the wisdom of embracing the unknown, ready to walk his path with courage. A lamp or torch to illuminate the path, Ananda replied, understanding the importance of light. Indeed, the Buddha affirmed, shine the light of awareness on the ego's shadows, and they dissolve as mist before the morning sun, Buddha said. The monk's expression began to soften, the Buddha's words resonating as a balm for his troubled heart and restless spirit. Master, how does one truly free oneself from the cycle of attachment and the clutches of ego? The monk asked earnestly. Practice compassion toward others, for selfless acts transcend the boundaries of ego and open the heart to boundless joy, Buddha instructed. This leaf once clung to the tree, its purpose fulfilled in providing shade, life, and beauty, Buddha said gently, but now it rests on the ground, having released its hold, allowing the tree to grow anew, Buddha explained. The disciple held the leaf, its fragile veins a testament to its once vibrant life, now peaceful in its release. Clinging to what once was prevents growth and transformation, Buddha said. Buddha's gaze softened further, as if sensing the monk's questions yet unspoken. His guidance a steady stream of clarity. The path is not without challenges, but within each challenge lies an opportunity to deepen understanding and transcend the ego. Buddha reassured. Another day, the disciple returned, his steps lighter yet still marked by a lingering trace of uncertainty. Master, he said, bowing deeply, I have started to release my attachments, but fear continues to hold me back. Buddha paused, his gaze thoughtful, as the depth of the question revealed the monk's growing understanding. The ego, like a shadow, follows wherever light exists. Yet it holds no substance and cannot endure beyond awareness, Buddha explained. To live free of the ego is to embrace awareness fully, letting go of attachment to self and identity, Buddha continued. The ultimate liberation lies not in erasing the ego but in recognizing its nature as transient and illusory, Buddha said. When you cease to identify with it, you transcend its hold, finding freedom in the realization of truth, Buddha concluded. The monk bowed deeply before the Buddha, his heart filled with gratitude for the teachings that offered a path to liberation. The other disciples, though silent, absorbed the wisdom shared, their understanding deepened by the exchange they had witnessed. The sun began its descent, casting long shadows across the gardens. Yet within the circle of disciples, a sacred light remained. Buddha sat in stillness, a living embodiment of the truths he imparted, his presence anchoring the ever-changing world. As the day drew to a close, the monk rose, his steps lighter, his soul touched by the clarity of Buddha's words. The lessons of the day rippled through the gathered disciples, their hearts united in the shared pursuit of enlightenment. Within Jetavana's serene sanctuary, the teachings of Buddha echoed timelessly, illuminating paths and planting seeds of wisdom in all who listened. Life is fleeting, yet its depth is revealed through the act of letting go and embracing the interconnectedness of all. The silence of the night enveloped the gardens, yet the truth spoken beneath the Bodhi tree lingered, a beacon for those seeking freedom. Buddha remained beneath the tree, his eyes closed in meditation, his spirit ever attuned to the flow of existence. The disciples retired to their quarters, their hearts aglow with the boundless compassion and profound wisdom they had been blessed to receive. Another day ended, but the journey toward truth continued, guided by the eternal light of Buddha's teachings. Thank you for watching. Buddha's teachings are always with you. Subscribe to our channel and we will see you in the next video.